Hey guys, so excited you're here. I'm Brooke Lloyd. If I haven't met you yet, I cannot wait to meet you. Definitely at one of these owners tour stops, right? Yes, and yes, we're all going to be there. Can't wait. So excited. We might even have some international peeps on here. I'm going to be setting my alarm to be at all of your events as well, because I know you guys do that for us. So excited to be here, excited to help train this incredible group. And I am just blown away by the lineup we have tonight. I'm so grateful. To get to just pour into you and speak life into you. There's never been a more exciting time in Q Sciences. And I can tell you that because the person I'm going to introduce, Miss Francesca Fields, and I started this crazy wild journey 3 years ago as of last month. I can't even believe that. And I know that we felt exactly the way so many of you guys do right now, and exactly the way we do right now 3 years ago, and we didn't have half of the exciting things that you guys have right now. We literally like just picked up the phone and called everyone because we didn't even have, opportunity calls or this streamlined system or weekly trainings or all this owners tour, all those things. I think like it was probably a year in, Fran would probably agree, before we actually thought we could like talk to Jake. we really didn't have this kind of proximity and access and understand the power of the councils. And there's just so much, products have launched. So super pumped. We want to share a little bit of what we've learned with you. Fran is just a dear friend of mine. I was her first ambassador. That's how much I trust her, believed in her, and knew that I wasn't going to sit on the sidelines and watch her make $1 million, which, by the way, she's already made almost 3 at this point, if she hasn't already surpassed that. So I wasn't wrong. She is a mama and a wife to, what does she call them? Like feral children, 4 feral children. And I am not going to tell you that she's wrong. My favorite moments have been watching Fran on Zooms when we were very first starting out in this industry, watch her kids pour cereal all over the counters and all the things. She's such a cool mom. I wish I had a mom like that. And I am just so excited for you to get to hear from her expertise. She is one of the top industry, earners in the world. Do you even understand that? Like top 200 or something crazy. She really has gone from not even being able to recruit, I think she said 3 people in 3 weeks, to now being the recruiting queen, to being an incredible leader. She's just such a phenomenal woman, and she is on our advisory council and has served now. I think this is her 2nd or maybe even 3rd year already. So without further ado, Miss Francesca Fields.
Oh, thank you, Brooke. Yeah, we didn't have products when we joined and built. I did not get my package of products until I was already a bronze. So yeah, there is a lot more going on here at Q than when we first joined 3 years ago. And I felt like I had struck freaking gold. People were like, it's been a month and a half. I haven't got my products. We're like, ground floor, baby, let's go. And people were like, okay, cool. Yeah. So the fact that we actually get our product shipped within like 5 days is really, really awesome, because Brooke is right. Like the way I felt with the timing of what we have here, when I joined 3 years ago, I thought I had joined at the sweet spot. I really did. I was like, I cannot believe this. Now I'm like, I was so wrong. Like this is the sweet spot. We've gained so much momentum. We've gained so much industry respect, a little bit of hate, but that's because what we got is really good and people are like crap, right? A little bit of that. We are one of the fastest growing companies in the industry, and yet we are at 1% saturation. Like, do y'all understand? This is like, I remember when I was looking for companies, Brooke might remember this, because she's actually the one that convinced me to have the call that joined me or led me to join Q. But when I was kind of researching opportunities, I would actually research ground floor opportunities in momentum, because I knew that I wanted to join a ground floor company in momentum. The trick is ground floor companies in momentum don't show up on Google. This is like Fight Club. You don't know about Fight Club unless you get invited to Fight Club. And y'all, how many are on here? All 500 of y'all have been invited to Fight Club. So this kind of ties into what we're talking about today, because if you don't have that attitude of like, oh my God, if I could get to gold with products taking a month to 2 months to ship every Monday, you know what Q News was about? the product's on back order. Q-Core, whoa, that picture. Q-Core, 2 months, like everything. It was like, oh my gosh. But you know what kept us going and growing really, really fast was the excitement that we had for the opportunity that we have. What I see missing in so many people's business is the perspective, the mindset, and the attitude. And here's one thing. There is always, listen up, y'all who have been here for a while, there is always people that are going to move faster than you in this business. Always. Number one, you don't know what it took for them to get to that point. You just don't. Number two, everybody has their own journey, and we need everybody's story here. I need the story of the person that held out for a year just to get to builder. And yeah, it's of course it's cool to hear the story of the person who got to platinum in a month. Like, yeah, we need everybody's story. But let me tell you something about comparison. Looking at somebody else's success does not indicate your failure, okay? Just because somebody is having success in an allotted time frame does not indicate your failure. It also does not indicate your success. In fact, it says nothing about you at all. It has nothing to really do with you. What it does is it elevates the company that you are a part of. So the only thing you need to take from that is the possibility and the fact that it is giving our company a great name, because for some reason we tend to let something else happening way over there, whatever it is, somebody else's story or time frame, we let it get to us, and it messes with our perspective, it messes with our mindset, it messes with our gratitude. The 4 things that I focus on to keep my head on straight: abundance, gratitude, perspective, and faith, right? When you're not talking to people and inviting people out of that mindset, you're coming from the wrong spot. So keep the perspective, okay? That's just something I had to throw in there. Hopefully that's okay with my co-pilots here. But that's really important to everything you're going to do on a daily basis, is having that right perspective, having that confidence, having that excitement. That's the only thing Brooke and I know Britney had when we came to this company, was just, y'all aren't going to believe what the heck I just found. You have to check. You'd be crazy not to want to look at this. Yeah, you're not going to get your products for 2 months, but you are going to make some money. And people are like, yeah, like seriously, it's all in the way that you talk about what we have here. The other thing I really want us to super focus on, and I know we're going to get into more detail tonight about different, ways to do it, different wording, different things like that. But we have to hyper focus on helping our new ambassador get an ambassador. Yes, it is cool signing up somebody. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of back work. I know what it takes to recruit somebody, but that doesn't mean anything unless you help that person get their first person. Turn 1 recruit into 2. Turn 2 into 4, turn 4 into 8. People ask me all the time, how did you get to Black Diamond? How did you get to this? How did you get to that? You want to know what I asked my sponsor when I joined? What's the first thing I need to do? I didn't have a big team to bring over. Okay. So people are like, you must have brought a big team over. No, I didn't have a big team. I brought Brooke. She wasn't on my team and she did awesome, but she will attest to this. I said, what's the first thing I need to do? And my mentor said, find 2 ambassadors and 3 customers. I said, got it. I went, I found Brooke, I found somebody else, I found 3 customers, my husband, my stepdad, and my mom. That's not even compliant anymore. Okay, so don't do it. It's not compliant. But back then, nobody cared. We didn't even have products. It didn't even matter. But I did. I found my 2 customers, my 3 customers, my 2 ambassadors. I went back to my mentor and I said, check. What do I do next? She said, easy. Help your 2 ambassadors find 2 ambassadors, and find 3 customers. We built this ship brick by brick, baby. It was simple duplication. It wasn't us recruiting 50 people. It was us recruiting 2 and helping them recruit 2 and helping them recruit 2 and helping them recruit 2. We recruited everybody to executive and we repeated the process. And that allowed Brooke and I, way back when, to get to our top earning ranks really quickly. So if you're sitting here thinking, how am I going to do this? I'm not a recruiting powerhouse. Good. You don't need to be. You need to identify the 2 people in your network who want to make some freaking money. Hello. You have them. You got to find them. You got to be willing to dig and search for them. Here's the other thing. If you have recruited people, there's a fly in here. I get this question all the time. What am I doing wrong? I must be doing something wrong. I must suck as a leader. I can't this, I can't that. I can't get people, I can't get anybody to launch. I can't get anybody, blah, blah, blah. Y'all ever said that before? Okay, that's because not everybody is going to follow through with what they said they're going to do. I never expect any one of you guys to build my business. That falls on me. I am constantly looking for, listen to this, the 20% who actually want to build. That's right. If I recruited 10 people in a month, 5 of those people are going to ghost me. Goodbye. I don't even know where they went. Of those 5, 2 people are actually going to do something. That's 20%. We are spending way too much time trying to drag around the other 5 that want to be in witness protection. And then we're trying to get these other 3 people. We need to spend more time identifying the 20% as quickly as possible and helping them find their 2 people. I promise you, you guys, if you just focus on helping simple, small, one-by-one duplication, you will grow in a really solid way to where you want to be. So what am I training my team to do on this specifically? We just started doing some of these really focused in training I've started doing these really focused in training calls with some of my leaders, and every single one of them is about to implement this. And you guys are going to get some awesome tips from Brooke and Britney in just a minute too. But if you've got a little bit of a team, or maybe you have like two people, 2 feet in the boat, it's fine. Pick a couple days every single week, and you have to help them do the scary things. Like, you literally have to be there with them while they do the scary things. I don't know if any of you guys are like me, but I love working out. I actually really love to exercise. But the thing I know about myself, and I'm like one of the most disciplined people in the world, I cannot work out by myself. I'll be like, oh, this is hard. Oh, I want to eat some Cheetos, or oh, I like quit really easy on myself. If I have one other person working out with me, whether it's in a class or at my house or anywhere else, I will work out 4 times harder and 4 times longer. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just somebody pushing me and helping me do the hard things. You have to do this with your new people. So gather a small team, 2 to 3 to 4 people, 2 feet in the boat. Schedule like two nights or 2 days a week where you guys hop on a Zoom. You each bring 5 names, because I don't care how long you've been here. You have to keep recruiting. If I waited on the people I first recruited, not Brooke, because she's awesome, but other people, I would be like a builder right now, right? I'd be like maybe a pro. I don't know. No, I'd have a really big leg with Brooke, and then I'd have I don't know. You have to keep building. You have to keep inviting. So have a list of the characteristics of the people, quality over quantity, that you want on your team. You and your people with 2 feet in the boat, have that list in mind. Bring 5 people per Zoom, and you guys are brainstorming, you're masterminding, you're reaching out to people together. You are doing the hard stuff that nobody really wants to do. You're doing it together. You're creating a community. You're transferring courage and boldness from one person to the next. I promise you, if you can turn your 1 recruit into 2, your 2 into 4, your 4 into 8, you will get where you need to go, and you'll do it in a really organic, awesome way that is going to sustain, because you're going to teach people the skills they need to find the person that wants to do this. So I think that's all I wanted to talk about. And I took up way more time than I wanted to, but I'm really excited because we know that Britney Hitch, she's somebody that, I've known her for a long time. I used to ask her for advice in our former project. I'd be like, what the heck are you doing? I need your help. And then I ended up coming here and she watched me for 18 months. She did not believe in what I was doing until I was making $90,000 a month. I was like, dang girl, like you make this really hard. But once she saw that and she was like, I'm going to do that, she did it. And she did it the fastest in the company. She broke some records. I know she's got somebody on her tails right now, but she has done incredible things in Q Sciences. And she's done it in a really humble, sweet, grassroots, authentic way. And it has been, for me, such an honor watching her just completely take this next level. She's on the advisory council. She's one of 8 really special connections to corporate where we get to kind of voice our opinion and give our ideas, and super, super valuable. So she's going to talk tonight on a couple things, basic tips, and also a little bit of her tips on inviting and how to help your new person invite effectively. So Britney, I'm so excited. Take it away.
Thanks, Franny. You guys, I am fully aware that this call is maxed out. I thought it held 1,000. It only holds 500. So I don't even know what we would be at if it wasn't maxed. It is being recorded. Don't fret. Next time we'll go on a different Zoom or I'll up my capacity. But I'm so sorry for everyone who couldn't get on. Brooke is making me laugh in our group chat right now because I always tell her, I want to keep this call to 30 minutes. And then I told her all the things I want to talk about. She's like, don't say I didn't warn you and give you an agenda. So I have a few things I want to talk about because we wanted to keep this the basics, right? Like from where we are, where we've built, what our basic top tips are for you guys. Fran's right. I waited until she was making $90,000 a month. She had just hit Blue Diamond a couple days before. And in my life circumstances, a lot of you guys know my story, it all aligned at the same time. And I knew who I had to talk to. So after she shared everything with me, if you've heard me on a call lately, I always say this, I felt like I had 2 options. It was either this is way too good to be true, I'm out, or this is way too good to pass up, I'm all in. And that's what I chose. And because of what she shared with me, because of the timing, because of the compensation plan, because of all of these things that we have here, the gold we have that is, like she said, even sweeter now, I knew how special this was. And I knew I wasn't going to squander it. I knew I had to be smart with what we have. So when I started reaching out to people about this, I want you to hear this part very loud and clear. The confidence that I had in talking to people, the confidence that I had in inviting them to come hear Fran and to come take a look at what I had found. You guys, it is the exact same confidence and excitement that I would have now as a Black Diamond. Day 1, I hadn't made a penny. I was still broker than broke. I hadn't recruited a single person. I hadn't made a dime. I wasn't even builder yet. And my confidence was unshakable because I knew what was possible. And so do you want to know what I said to people? I would say, hey, I know this sounds totally crazy, but I just partnered with my friend Francesca in this incredible company. Girlfriend is making $90,000 a month. I know, like my brain can't even compute that. You know, the products are amazing, but the compensation plan and the timing of what we have here is insane. It's what leaders look for. She's going to show me how she did it, and I'm going to do the same thing. I would love for you to come meet her, take a look and see if this is something that you want to do with us. I straight up told these people, I'm going to do what she did. And then I did, because I knew that I could. I knew that we had simple systems that if I plugged in, I could do them. So Fran will tell you, I told her, tell me what to do and I'll do it. I don't care how uncomfortable it makes me. I don't care. I'm just going to do what you told me to do because it clearly works. So I want you guys to remember, I don't care if you've been in here for a year, 2 years. I don't care what your rank is. I don't care how much money you've made, because none of that is relevant. None of that is relevant to what you're offering people. It doesn't matter. What you're offering people is the same thing that I'm offering people. It doesn't matter. So when you're inviting people, you have to either call them, you have to voice message them, they have to feel that confidence and excitement in your voice. It is tangible, it is contagious. You don't get that same feeling from a text message. I'm sorry, you just don't. And if you don't have the confidence and excitement, then let's like back up a step and figure out why. Because if you truly understand what you have in your hands, like Fran said, you were invited into Fight Club. That is exciting in itself. If you understand that, it will come through when you're speaking to these people. They will feel it. They might not join you, and that's okay, but they will be open to taking a look at what we have. And that is the kind of wording that I want you guys to use. Because this isn't about you bringing in as many people as possible. This isn't about you getting to the top of the leaderboard. This isn't about you. It's not about you. When you approach this, making it about other people, again, inviting them to take a look, seeing if this is going to be a good fit for them. They feel that. They feel, oh, this isn't like X, Y, and Z. They're not just trying to use me. They really care if this is something that will benefit my family and meet me where I'm at. If Fran would have messaged me even 6 months prior, I would have said no. I wouldn't have been open because the timing wasn't right for me. And so that's another thing that you have to realize is that your timing might not fit in with theirs. And that's okay. You have to be patient and remember that it is about them. Hey, Brooke, will you take over for half a second so I can go get my charger so my computer doesn't die?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been taking notes. She talked about just how that confidence, because I completely agree. I think that a lot of times we just make this so overcomplicated. I said in the chat, like, keep it simple, keep a tracker. How many times did you share that with somebody this week, right? Because a lot of times you'll hear that. I bet if you go to 10 recruiting calls right now, the convention trainings, all that, you're going to hear the exact same thing that we're all saying over and over again. And I don't mean specific verbiage. I just mean the concept's the same. We just have to be willing to apply it consistently. I don't think I can think of one big leader that did not watch for months before they actually came in and said, I mean, even Claudia that just joined, like, she saw the company a while ago. There's another new leader that just joined, like, saw it, knew it was probably exciting and good, but wasn't ready. And then when they were, the person that was consistent and excited and confident and that they could take them where they wanted to go, right? That's the person that they're going to lock arms with. Go ahead, Britt.
Hold on, I'm out of breath. Trying to run upstairs. I was scared that it was going to end and then the whole call would end and then we would be screwed. So, okay, the inviting is one part. When someone joins you, that's another exciting part. But one thing I want you to know is when you get that notification come through on your phone that so-and-so is trusting you and they're partnering with you, that is actually when your job starts. The recruiting is not, okay, game over, done. It starts, still out of breath. It starts when they join you. So now they are your liability. They are your responsibility. Now you have to launch them. And on the launch, I want you to make sure that they understand our systems. They are lost puppies. Jake will tell you they're like babies with dirty diapers. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what their next steps are. They just know they're excited. When you launch them, you need to make sure that they are learning the system. They are learning how to invite just like you invited them. Make sure that they know how to edify you. Make sure that they know how to connect to you, to use our third-party tools, because the beauty of the system is that it's simple and that anybody can do it. You don't have to know things. You just plug them into somebody else, something else, a PDF from the app. So they need to learn how to do that. You need to direct them to, just like Fran was saying, their next step is to find their first 2 ambassadors and let's up the ante, 3 customers. If you get every new person to get 2 ambassadors and 3 customers, they're going to unlock box 3 of the comp plan, and they're probably going to rank up on the CV side. And that is a win-win-win. We want them to get their investment back by next Friday, and they're going to be more excited. They're going to have money in their pocket, and it's just setting them up for success. So your job is to partner with them. Now their business is your business. So one thing that I love about the compensation plan, you guys have heard us all say it a million times. The way a comp plan is written determines our behavior. Lately, I have been learning a lot about other comp plans, and it makes me so much more grateful for ours because of the behaviors that other comp plans cause people to do. When you have to push someone to rank for you to hit a rank, when people are too far in your organization so they don't get to work with you, those are behaviors that are kind of icky. And we don't have those here. So now when you have the newest person trusting you and you place them at the bottom of your organization, you're now working with them. Now your job is to help them find those people, because when they do, that actually helps your business. That helps you get to where you want to go. And it creates such a special culture. So partner with them on that. Make sure that they don't leave that call until their auto ship is set up. Walk them through that process, show them how to do it, show them how to add the products, how to choose the date, the 1st through the 5th, because the sooner that they're qualified, the sooner they get paid. And that is just a habit that you want to put into place with your team. The other reason for auto ships, you guys, I've been having a lot of conversations with Kelly about this. One, it's the overhead in your business. I have never been a traditional business owner, so I don't understand that most people spend like tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars a month to keep a business running, but that's the norm. And here, as business owners, your auto ship, your 100 PV is your business overhead. Like, that's a really good gig. So if that's your overhead and we're business owners, that's a non-negotiable. The third no-brainer part of this is that's how you get free shipping. I mean, I don't think any of you guys would raise your hands and say, yeah, I like to pay for free shipping. Most of us will add to cart so that we don't have to pay for shipping. So if you can set your auto ship and get free shipping, hello. So I want you to set the tone with your team and help them to get their auto ship. If someone isn't willing to have an auto ship, one, it'll tell you one of two things. Either they should be a customer, they should have been a customer, and that's going to go with qualifying. That's what Brooke's going to talk about in a little bit. Or also it's going to show you where not to spend your time in your organization. Our time is precious. We all have families, we have lives, and this business is really fun, but we don't do it for fun. So if someone isn't willing to put an auto ship in place, I'm sorry, but that is telling you that that is not where you want to spend your time in your business. You want to work with the people who are serious. You want to work with the people who want it like you do. And those people aren't it. The other metric that I use in qualifying where I spend my time are the people at events and that get their convention ticket. That is how I do recognition. That is how I spend my time, because those are the people who are in it. And if you want to be smart with your time, I would highly encourage you to set that standard for your team as well. Also make sure that they don't leave that launch call without being plugged in. We have, nobody in Q Sciences can ever complain that we don't have resources or training, ever. This team, if you're on this call, every Monday night at 8:30 Central, you're going to get trained. You're going to get trained by some leader and you're going to learn something. Every single Monday at 1 p.m. Central, there's a live in Q News. You're going to get all the transparency from corporate. They need to know this. Your newest person needs to know what's available to them. Every Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Central, someone in the advisory council is going to train the whole company. They need to know that that's available to them. Whatever else you have going on in your teams, make sure that they're aware. Make sure that they know that the Unite convention is in August. Make sure that they know about the owners tour stops that are close to their cities or that they can travel to. It's your job to make sure that they are aware to get plugged in to what we have. What is the last thing? I think that's it. I think that's what I have. At the end of the day, you guys, I used to tell people that my top 2 tips, was just excitement and confidence. Like, all you have to do is be excited and confident. And I'm telling you, I still stand by those things, but they won't matter if it's only for a season. You have to be consistent. And that is the missing link that most people are missing. I see people get really excited for a season. And then when things get hard, because business ebbs and flows, they bounce. And then we have a new product or a new promo and it gets exciting again and they're back. But what that does is that confuses their team and their audience. If you guys want to recruit a leader, if you want to recruit a big leader, if you want to like bring in momentum, you have to be consistent, because I guarantee you, I would not have partnered with Fran if she wasn't consistent. I watched her for 18 months. She never wavered. She never disappeared for a period of time, because if she had, I wouldn't have trusted her. I would have gone with someone else. I guarantee you, you guys all saw Claudia, what Claudia is doing in Q. I guarantee you that if I wasn't consistent, she wouldn't have partnered with me. She wouldn't have trusted me. Your consistency builds trust, both with your team and with the people that are watching you. So please don't ever forget that. This is a business. We show up day in and day out, regardless of how we feel. Okay, so now that I am well over time and now I can never talk crap to Brooke ever again, I'm so excited for you guys to hear from Brooke. She is a powerhouse. You guys, she is like one of the most incredible trainers. Training is not one of my strengths. It's not something that I enjoy doing. I actually hate it. But Brooke is someone that you will probably leave with more notes right now than you did the whole other part of the call. She is incredible, and she has been such an amazing partner and mentor to me. She has been available to me and my whole team. She's also on our advisory council, which, as you guys know, is super prestigious. It's the inner circle of Q. Her and her husband are just amazing pillars in Q. If to know her is to love her, I know you guys already know that. So Brooke, really excited to hear from you and talking about how to qualify people, because that is
awesome. And I love that you don't get to give me crap anymore. The minute they started talking about time, y'all, I knew it was directed at me. And yet I also knew that I am not the rambler. I usually am the one that comes with notes. So just kidding. It's so fun. This has been so fun to do this together and collaborate. Everything these ladies have said, I can just reiterate that. I do want to talk about, qualification, but I just want to say, I think, I've been thinking so much lately about how blessed we are. I love that Fran talks about she comes from gratitude daily. That's so important. You guys, in my 4 years of my other company, I was never on a call like this with top leaders, top earners, top council members telling me how to build my business. In fact, I know they didn't know how they built theirs. And that left a pit in my stomach. Like, they can't help me because they don't know. Right. And so every call I would ever get on was just hype. It wasn't tangible. It wasn't actually steps to do. And I never heard from them until they got on stage at convention. Right. They never knew people on my team. They didn't, you guys get in my inbox, I actually recognize your name. And it won't always be this intimate, right? We're already maxing out Zooms, for goodness sakes. So thank you for being here and taking advantage of this. And it's okay if you have to go. I know there's people in the waiting room that will take your spot, right? But here's the deal. Qualification. I usually talk about edification. Qualification is so important because, as these ladies have said, all of those things are great. But if you're not qualifying people, then you're bringing people into your business with this expectation on them, right? That they're business minded, that they want what you want. But the truth is, you didn't even lay it out there as to what they were going to be doing, right? So if you walked in on your first day at the job and you expected that you were going to sit in an office and you were going to be wearing regular, dress business clothes, you wear your heels, you bring your briefcase, all the things, right? You put your hair and makeup, you spend hours doing it, and you show up and you're supposed to be in a swimsuit at the pool, right? As a lifeguard, you'd be like, holy cow, I don't know what I just came into. You probably wouldn't even you'd go run back and get in your car and you'd never show up again. And that's what happens, I think, is we get frustrated with people when they didn't even know what the expectations were, right? You're always going to have people, like Fran said, that are just going to not follow through with what they commit to. But we are smart enough to know that that's not our fault, right? But I think it's important to lay that in place. So here's the couple of things that I recommend with qualifying people. We used to have a fun graphic about this, and I learned this from the incredible Kelly Allred. First, do you want to be a business owner? Are you talking about this in business ownership? Or are you interested in being an entrepreneur? I love that term too, because obviously we don't own Q Sciences, but entrepreneurs have to pave the way for themselves. Entrepreneurs don't expect anybody to do anything for them. So using verbiage like that is really, really important. Instead of, do you want a side gig? Oh, you can fit it into the nooks and crannies. Oh, you don't worry, you don't have to do anything. Everything's done for you. There's simple systems and you don't have to do anything. That starts to create a completely different mindset in people. So it's very important that you set the bar. I always say, if you set the bar here, they're going to exceed it. If you set the bar here, they're going to just go just above that, right? So it's really, really, you can mute yourself, or maybe I can mute you. Britt, can you do that? I don't think I'm hosting. It's very important that you know that they want to own a business or be an entrepreneur. The second thing is, are you willing and able to work at least 5 to 7 hours a week, right? And I always tell people at that level, you're probably going to be able to get your investment back, make $500 to $750, right? And then from there, we can decide where you want to take this business, right? If they're not at least willing to do that and wanting to make at least $500 to $750, they're not ready for this. They should start out as a customer, right? The next thing is, are they willing to do their launch within the next 24 to 48 hours, right? When you sit down, you go in a job interview and that you interview with someone, they tell you, hey, you're expected to be here on Monday. Not 2 weeks from now, not like, I'm not going to hire some manager for my store, which is basically what you're doing. You're hiring business partners, right? To run a portion of your business, right? I'm not hiring a manager of my store that tells me they're going to start 90 days from now. Like, no, I'll go hire the person that's ready to start tomorrow and is excited and hungry and eager and wants to make money. Okay. And then making sure that they're willing to do their first event in the first week. So especially now, we get paid weekly. Like if I sign you up today, I'm launching you tonight or tomorrow. We're in our first Zoom call with prospects, at least by the following day, if not the day after, which is not a week from now or 2 weeks from now. So what do you do if someone says, well, I'm going on vacation, right? We're going into summer. I want to sign up today, but I'm going on vacation. Or, ooh, free promos, right? Be careful how you put out free promos. You can get a bunch of people in your group that aren't going to do anything with that. And that is money. I want you to think about it this way, from your pocket, because you just took money out of the bank of Mr. Jake Spencer and Mr. Mark Wilson. So your promos will be less, your shipping will be more, things like that, right? So remember, when we're utilizing join promos, we want to make sure that we are using that on the right people, because otherwise it's just money in, money out, right? So what do you say? I say to them, hey, listen, sounds like you've got a lot going on. Probably not the right time to start a business today, but let's get your product shipping. When do you get back? Oh, the 21st. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to set an appointment. The 22nd, how about 10 a.m.? We get on a Zoom again. We see where you're at. If you're ready to get started, I'll sign you up right then. That way you don't lose any time getting your first fast start bonuses, right? And we'll get you started as a customer. So you're already going to have a product story by the time we meet again. How does that sound, right? Listen, you guys, I'm the business owner. I'm interviewing them. We have to be very careful not to get in scarcity, but to come from a place of abundance. And that's the other thing I want to talk to you about. Posture, right? Posture is so important, right? Are you coming from a place of, hey, we're the fastest growing company in the world right now? Like, I am closely working with a mentor that's made crazy money in this industry, and I happen to just have kind of a season of time with her. I'm only really bringing in right now people who are serious, ready to make money, ready to work, ready to learn this business, because I'm laying out kind of my foundational team. Do you talk like that? Do you think about, even if you've been in 90 days or 2 years, are you talking about your new group that you're building? Are you talking about foundational leadership of Q Sciences? Because that's actually where we are. Believe it or not, someday this company, and we were on a Zoom today, man, the plans they have, when you see Jake and my husband talk about like things that are going to be coming and big business things, you guys, this is not your grandma's Tupperware company. Like, this company is going to be on the map. So right now, what you're doing is you're laying out distribution centers all over the world, so that when everybody and their dog knows about Q Sciences, they come to you, because somebody in your distribution center, your spider web is the way I like to think of it. Guess what? They're shopping with somebody in your spider web. Brittany's got a giant one. Claudia's got a giant one now, right? We have these big distribution networks. When somebody shops in Australia, Brittany makes money. When somebody shops in Europe, Brittany makes money. Brittany wants a store on every corner, right? And that's what you're doing right now. You're not trying to get your Aunt Karen to just get you one more 100 PV. It's just not what we're doing. So qualify your people. Ask them, like, I talk about this when I do my events training, but you guys, Marielle once said she won't sign someone up if they're not prepared to go to the next international convention. And I know we got a little bit of a pass for the last 2 years, but when I came in and I heard that, I got my butt to convention at 37 weeks pregnant. And I'm not going to condone that. I'm just saying I took this so seriously because I heard someone that was where I wanted to be say, I wouldn't sign you up, Brooke. I wouldn't put you on my roster. I wouldn't mentor you. I wouldn't put my resources into you if you weren't that serious. So I took it seriously. So do you set the bar? Do you set the standard and say, hey, if you're not going to be in the seats with me, and guess what? It's only 3 months away. In 3 months, are they still going to be your business partner? Or are they going to expect you to be mama birding them every single detail of every single new product and every single promo and everything? And they're going to be sitting at home saving their money while you've invested yours and their time, while you've sacrificed your time away from your babies and all those things? Or are you just going to decide like, hey, the bar is here. I don't need to scrape the bottom of the barrel because this business opportunity is a once in a lifetime chance. If you can't see that, then I think that you should just try the products, because what I know is you're going to love those. And when you fall in love with those, you're going to understand why it's so valuable to have a multi-million-dollar business with this company, why it's so valuable to create distribution centers all over the world as we expand from 26 countries to 60. Like, that will make more sense to you. So why don't we start there? And one last thing, I was watching a great training, actually not training, it was an opportunity call, which, by the way, still to this day, I watch opportunity calls. Kristen Wyatt's one of my favorite presenters, so I love to listen to what she's doing and get verbiage and things. I take notes. I up my game all the time. I'm always getting better and better. I'm always learning, right? I'd listen in the car or whatever. But that's something I still do this to this day on repeat. Like, I'm like, okay, what'd they say? Oh, let me go back, rewind. You've probably heard Jake say that. Like, I still do that. So I listened to this call she did today. Short and sweet, absolutely amazing, right? And what she said, she used some verbiage around, based on your network or based on your credibility, right? Based on your level of influence. She just called it out. Like, you might come in here and you might know a ton of people and like you already have kind of a personal brand built. You're going to do really well. Or you might be somebody that's like, hey, she says this on an opportunity call. You know what? For the last 2 years, I haven't left my house, right? We can help you build a business either way, right? But your success is going to be determined on how much you are willing to put in, right? How much you're willing to learn, your current skill set, and where you're willing to take that. But we have this incredible framework for anybody to be able to come in, low cost, low risk, high return, right? And then she kind of told a story, but I love that upfront approach, right? Just tell people like, hey, listen, if you on a call, when I'm trying to figure out if this person is right for my business, I'll say, okay, so right now, after kind of what we talked about, who are you thinking about? Like, who are your 2 people that you want to call up right now with me today? And if they start going, well, I don't know anybody, or I haven't been out of my house in forever or whatever, instead of, I promise you, Claudia already, in fact, I think before she joined, she had 6 people ready to go or 12 people ready to go or something crazy, all like big industry leaders, right? Britney, she already knew. Fran, we had already talked before, like Fran talked to me, then talked to them, then got back on a call with me. Then we were on a call with Tara the next, like 30 minutes later, right? She already kind of had some of that established. That's somebody that you know is going to be able to go quickly. So if somebody's like, I don't know anybody, I don't this, then tell them the how, not the what. Here's what's going to happen next. This is what we're going to do together. We are going to work on talking to your people, but you have to be willing to do X, Y, Z. Are you willing to do that with me? Are you willing to give me 90 days or 6 months? What do you think it's going to be for them, right? Because I don't know, since you haven't yet built a network. And guess what I say? That's where I started too. So I know it's possible for you. I know you can earn big checks. I know you can earn awards because I did, but I didn't know any of this either. But I need the time to be able to show you, train you, right? And for you to build some influence and credibility in your network. Are you willing to give me that? And if they're not, it's okay to say no. Isn't that like revolutionary in business? It's okay to say no. And the truth is, I had a business coach once say to me, would your 6-figure self do this? Now it's, would your 7-figure self do this? I promise you, Britney Hitch and Francesca Fields will both tell you they do not work with the same people that they once worked with 4 years ago when they were literally begging people to join their team. Absolutely not. But what if we learn, what if we, barely this mouse here. What if we learned to do that today? What if we learned to think like our 6-figure self, our 7-figure self? What if we set the bar in that way? That includes business hours. That includes going on dates. That includes your 5 Fs. That includes all of the pieces. What would you do with your finances? What would you treat? How would you treat your body? Right? What would you allow in your mind if you were making 6 and 7 figures? Because guess what? The reason that Britney and I and Fran and I are so solid in our businesses is because we don't allow trash. We in our heads, we don't allow, like we think it, but we hold each other accountable. We hold ourselves accountable. We don't allow people in our circle that don't hold the same standards as us, right? And I bet Britney would tell you every day we level that up just a little bit, right? There's a reason we want to be close to Jake. There's a reason we want to be close to Mark, because they are holding the bar for us so freaking high, right? When Britney came into this business, she didn't travel a lot, right? She did everything over Zoom. And Mr. Brandon Stevens, myself, other leaders, right? We were like doing these events and we were saying, Britney, you need to be at these events. Your team needs to be at these events. Jake comes on the scene. You need to be at these events. All of a sudden, guess what? Britney's at events. Now, the first person that makes sure that everybody is at an event. In fact, her newest leader is going to be speaking at her first regional in Nashville, just like Britney did at our regionals. And I know it's because we held the bar so high. And she said, I want what they have. I'm going to do what they're doing. Right. And that's what you need to know is it's not easier for us. We literally are so cemented in that belief and so cemented in that vision that we protect it with everything we have because we have so much to lose. And some of you guys that are only making $100 or $500, or maybe you haven't made a dime yet, you don't treat this like a 7-figure business. You don't look in the mirror and treat yourself like a 7-figure earner. And so my encouragement when you're recruiting is to have posture like, hey, listen, I thought of you recently because of a project I'm working on. And here's what I can tell you. I have a mentor like I really want to introduce you to, but I know that where we're going and the speed we're moving at, right? If you're not like really serious, I don't want to connect you with her, right? Because I know that like I have a little bit of her time, but because of who you are, because of what I know you're capable of, because of how much I look up to you, I literally am willing to ask her to do me a favor and hop on a call with you. I promise you, if you miss this, you're going to regret it. Would you do me a favor and just take a look at what I'm doing, right? What if your posture was that way with your leaders? What if, that person's like, well, it's going to be dinner. Okay, listen, like, hey, if you're going to be like eating spaghetti while you're talking to my $1 million mentor, like we need to like reschedule because I would never want to put someone on a call with her that's not dead serious because she's literally taking food out of somebody else's mouth because she's helping so many people be successful right now. What if that was your posture? And I know I'm going long, so I'll cut this off, but please, please, please treat yourself and your business like you are already a 7-figure earner. Britney came in this, I've said the 1,000,000 times. She came in a leader. I've already had just a little bit of interaction with Claudia. Holy cow. Like they're already that person. You're going to attract that person when you become that person. And I'm not talking about your bank account because Britney did not have a 7-figure bank account when she came in here, but she sure had a 7-figure mindset. Okay. So posture, qualify. I know you heard some great invite tips tonight. You guys, we're in an incredible season. Do not squander it. Work hard the next couple of weeks. Get to owners tours, get your butt in the room, invest in yourself, invest in your business. Keep this simple. It's not as complicated as you think, and protect your mindset with everything you have. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Britt, anything else you want to add? No, good.
No, that was fire. We can always count on Brookie to bring it home. We love you guys. We love you guys. Treat this like a business, work it like a business, and you'll have the results you're looking for.